uvacha prakritim purusham chaiva kshetram kshetrajnam cha etad veditum ichchami jnanam gyeyam cha keshava. Shri Bhagavan uvacha idam shariram kaunteya kshetram mityabhidhiyate etad yo veti tam prahuhu kshetrajna iti tadvidaha. Arjuna said, "O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, and the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and the end of knowledge." The blessed Lord then said, "This body, O son of Kunti, is called the field, and one who knows this body is called the knower of the field." Kshetra, Kshetrajna, Jnanam, Gyeyam. These are very important terms in the Sankhya philosophy, which analyzes the existence to understand the absolute truth. Krishna begins explaining Kshetra and Kshetrajna, two very important terms. Kshetra means field. Just like the farmer has a field, farmer has got liberty. You put the mango seeds, you get mango fruit. You put bitter gourd, you get bitter fruits. In a similar fashion, this body is called Kshetra, or field of activity for the living entity. Actually, anything, happiness or distress that we are experiencing, everything comes out of this field called body. It doesn't matter what is happening in the whole world. Ultimately, it is a body which is required for any experience, good or bad, in this world. Somebody could be playing very nice, soothing music, but if a person is deaf, he will not be able to enjoy. There could be very beautiful form in front of us, but if the eyes are not working properly, we will not be able to see the form. Somebody can bring the most delicious foodstuffs, but if we are sick, we will not be able to relish the taste. And if all the senses stop working in the body, then for us the world does not exist. I will think only I exist. So thus our experience, anything good or bad, depends upon this body. This is very important. The same living entity in the body of pig relishes stool. In this body, stool is very nasty, abominable for us. So all our experiences, they depend upon this body. So this is a great science. This body is our field actually, not the whole world. So it depends if we have sown the seeds of Sattva Guna in this body, then we will get knowledge, mind control, sense control, happiness, enlightenment. If we have sown the seeds of Rajoguna in this body, then we will get anxiety, unlimited sensual desires and hard work. And if we have sown the seeds of Tamas, mode of ignorance, what we will get is depression and procrastination, always keeping dirty, low moods, criminal mentalities, all such things will manifest. Everything depends upon what kinds of seeds we are putting in this body. And we should not think that the consciousness, as many modern scientists they believe, although not all, now there has been great research in the field of consciousness, and some leading scientists, they are agreeing that consciousness is not secondary. So long many were believing that consciousness is secondary to matter. Matter configures itself in a certain way and then consciousness is manifest. But now they are telling no, it is the other way around. The consciousness is primary and matter is secondary. The brain is not the generator of consciousness, rather the brain receives the consciousness. So this distinction is very, very important, first of all, to make any advancement in spiritual life, to understand what is the spirit, If I think I am only this body, consciousness has no separate existence, then we cannot take even first step in spiritual life. That is why Krishna first of all explains to Arjuna Kshetra and Kshetragya. There is a field which we have, and we are Kshetragya. Gya means to know, knower of the field. We are different. So it is very important to understand who we are. And if we have some time and a cool mind, some sanity, then we can understand. Any intelligent man with little deliberation can understand that he is different from the body, because the body is continuously changing. The skin is continuously changing, the blood is continuously changing, bones, bone marrow, everything, it is being produced of food that we eat. So the old cells, they die and the new cells replace them. Everything in the body, liver gets replaced, lungs, our heart transplantation also happens, kidneys, everything, all the organs of the body can be replaced. And by nature's way also, they are actually getting replaced, because old cells are dying and new cells are taking their place. So scientists, what they discovered is actually the brain cells, they almost stay till the time of death. That is what they have done research on. And they tell, so we are brain actually, because I remember when I was small, although my body has completely changed, the cells have changed, but I remember. And then when I grew young, and now that I am old, I remember all these things. So who am I? Who is remembering? Who is experiencing? So they came to the conclusion by some research work and understanding the signals, the neurosignals in the body, that when you sing, this portion of the brain is activated. When you eat, this portion of the brain is activated. From here the signal is coming, here the signal is going. So they thought that the consciousness is the result of some activity of the brain, and actually we are the brain. So some of the people, they thought, if I can preserve my brain and somehow I can put it, I can manufacture robots or some bodies, then I can continue to live on eternally. But this is not sane thinking. Lord Krishna is telling, Kshetragya, knower of the field is different from the field, knower of the body is different from the body. Just like the power, the animation in any robot or any toy, it is there because of the battery, the external source. Without it, there is no animation. In a similar fashion, the energy in this body is because of external source, small spiritual spark, which is called Brahma. So we can understand with an analogy, just like we are playing computer game. So one can analyze very nicely that virtual character of the game. When that character has to jump, then unique signal is coming from the keyboard. You press this key, the character would jump. You press another key, character would duck. You press another key, the character would crawl. You press another key, the character would shoot. So it does not mean that the consciousness which the character is displaying, it is coming because of the keyboard. No, there is a conscious person who is passing the signals using the keyboard. In a similar fashion, this brain is simply like keyboard or a computer, through which a conscious personality, the spirit soul, is passing signals. The character is not behaving in a conscious manner on its own. That virtual character is being controlled by a real person outside. In a similar fashion, in this body, we can very nicely analyze from where the signal is coming, where is it going, but we have to understand it is simply an interface between the actual player and the virtual character. So just like a person is mistaken to think that the keyboard is the cause of animation and activities of the virtual character, it is ignorance to think that the brain is the cause of all the activity. Brain is but another organ which is not present in many conscious entities. And you can Google also, there was a Frenchman who was a civil servant, and he got 90% of his brain cells dead and vanished. It got replaced by some fluid in the brain. So he was surviving very nicely with decent IQ with just 10% or less than that of the brain cells remaining. His brain was almost gone, but he's doing all the functions nicely. So that is why this theory, the scientists started doubting that what is this consciousness? Who am I? So long we are thinking that brain is responsible for the activities. This front portion, back portion, this lobe, that bowl, cerebral cortex, and so many technologies, terminologies, they have been used to describe the functions of the brain. But this person has got nothing of it. Just few cells are remaining, with entire brain being filled by some liquid. But he is functioning very normally. So there have been like this many other case studies also. There have been examples in the Vedas also, how people are following all the normal duties with a different head. So thus we have to understand how a person is functioning without brain. And what to speak of this person, there are many entities, species which do not have brain at all. Just like the trees. Trees are conscious, but trees do not have brains. It means consciousness is not a function of brain. Jellyfish, starfish, and so many species are there which do not have brains. But these species, they do activities of eating, mating, sleeping, defending very nicely without brain. So consciousness is not a function of brain. It is very easy to understand. But we also understand I am that consciousness. And to be more precise, the source of consciousness. I see, I walk, I hear. So who am I? So I am not the brain. We have understood from these examples of the Frenchman, of so many species. So this is what I should think. Who am I? I am nothing of this body. This body changes. I have been observing. So from where have I come in this body? Why have I come in this body? Who is the person, or what is the system which is putting so many personalities in so many yantras, machines around us, which we call bodies? So what is this going on in this world? Human life is meant for this inquiry. Not like animals. You give animal the objects for eating, mating, sleeping, defending, and animal is happy, just chasing them entire life. That is why it is told in human form of life, Athato Brahma Jigyasa, you should inquire. If I am not the body, why have I been put into this body? Why am I suffering from diseases and death which are happening to the body? If I am not the body, I need not bother with all these things. Why am I trapped in this body, getting so much of harassment? This is the purpose of human form of life. This is Vedic culture. So Krishna mentions very clearly, Kshetra, this body's field, your happiness, distress, everything is because of this body. Your perception of the world is just because of this body. So you should not depend upon this body in its current state to get knowledge. Because as we discussed, somebody has got a different body. He will have different perception of the world altogether. The pig has a different perception of the world. We have a different perception of the world. The same taste is different for us. So the real knowledge this body will not give us, because all of us have different bodies. A blind man will see forms do not exist. But that is not fact. A deaf man will tell sound does not exist, but that is not fact. So that is why in the Vedas it is mentioned, one should not depend upon this body to directly perceive knowledge. Body creates illusions, hallucinations many times. Then Lord Krishna explains,